नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। This is JV'n, Dr. Meenakshi SONI, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, Department of Homeopathic Repertory, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur, Digital version 2.0. This is our topic, parts of the body and organ. This is the second section of Boni Hassan Therapeutic Pocket Book. This section of the book follows in general the anatomical schema used by Hahnemann, in fact, used by all students of human anatomy since earliest medical history, beginning with the upper parts, head, proceeding downward to the mouth, then following the alimentary tract downward, next considering the urinary organs and functions, the sexual organs and functions, then respiratory organ, and from above to downward, then external chest, heart, neck, back, upper and lower limbs. This is the structure or the construction of the second part or the second section of Btpb. This work has run through many editions, which has been stated before, and in many of these translations have been necessarily Hempel, Oki, Boger, TFL, and among others has given of their time and genius in attempting to perfect little work. Probably TFLN has left a more lasting impression upon the pocketbook than any other one editor, because it was he who added many of eye symptoms, and it was he who conceived the idea of combining Boni Hassan repertory of sides of the body with the original pocketbook. In spite of many mistakes that crept the crept in thorough, clumsy translation and assembling. This has added vastly to the value of work. But in order to make the best possible use of this work, we must understand the mistakes and how to avoid them. This we shall consider at a later time. This section on the parts of the body and organ runs from page 24 to 142, following the general schema outlined previously, and begins with a chapter on internal head, to be followed by one on external head, then by brief chapter on the sides of the head. Next, we come to a chapter on eyes, and we must note in this connection that this chapter that deals with the various location in the eye is followed by a chapter on vision. In other words, in dealing with the location that has a definite function, especially of senses, we find first the location with its modification, then immediately following a section devoted to symptom of the function. It is unnecessary to go into this is greater detail, since it holds true in general throughout this part of the book. Under the chapter phase, however, we find the first objective symptoms that may be observed in the face, then following this a section devoted to the face, location of sensation in. Again, we find the rubric devoted to location in the abdomen are followed by a chapter on flatulence and stool. The chapter on urinary organ by one on urine, and then again by one dealing with the symptom arising from urination. The section on sexual organ is followed by a chapter on menstruation and by a chapter of leukorrhea. When we consider respiration, however, we find the symptom of the respiration are given first consideration. This chapter is followed by the one of expectoration, that by one on the air passages containing two specific location, one or two condition, and the voice rubrics. It is more important to note that under these chapters devoted to parts of the body and organ, we find also a few aggravation and occasional rubric that might have been listed under the sensation and complaints. The following rubrics may logically consider as aggravation, trouble before 90, page number, during stool, after stool, trouble before micturition, at beginning of micturition, during micturition, at the close micturition, after micturition, before micturition, at beginning of menstruation, after, during menstruation. Rubric that might have been listed under the chapter on sensation and complaints are stopped feeling in ear, toothache, heartburn, flatulence, pain, labor-like pain, etc. With these few exceptions and those rubric dealing with labor tenesmus, there are no subjective symptoms to be found in this second part of the book. There is another group of symptoms that may be considered as one of the original feature introduced by Bonning Hassan and one that has made this repertory both brief and comprehensive. There are the concomitant rubric of these Bonning Hassan. He writes in his preface, convinced of the importance of symptoms which occur simultaneously and therewith form symptoms group. I have been adding for many years to the concomitant symptoms which are found in the materia medica pura, whatever belonging to them, the experience of myself and others could offer, and their number increased so incredibly that I have been able to deduce general rules. From these, it is certain that some remedies, more than others, incline to concomitant symptom, and that these do not consist exclusively of particular symptoms, but in the general of every sort of complaint which lies within the sphere of remedy, though indeed that characteristic may be found more frequently among them than elsewhere. This discovery, tested by long experience, led me to place the concomitant symptom together under each section. Thus, we find the following: drugs which have concomitant of mental symptoms, accompanying symptom of nasal discharge, accompanying troubles of leukorrhea, accompanying troubles of respiration, troubles associated with cough. We may also place in this group those already mentioned for consideration in the group of aggravation, troubles before, during, after stool, before, during, after micturition, before, during, after menstruation, etc. These rubrics, when their value is fully comprehended, prove extremely useful both for analysis of a case and for quick reference also. So the topic is completed now. Thank you. Hope you are understand with this session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box.